How to pick your PFA in 3 days. So when your PFA day comes around, it's not time to try and get fitter at that point. It's time to perform. So you're not trying to improve your fitness in the final few days. You're recovering and priming the body so that it's ready to perform at its best on that test day. So think of it like a mini taper. Now, there's no need for a full week or 2-week taper that you do with big events. There is need for a little bit of a mini taper. So you still want to reduce your fatigue, you want to sharpen up, and you want to go into that test day confident and ready. So with your training side of things, don't train hard leading right up to the test. You can't build fitness in 3 days, but you can ruin your recovery. So here's the plan to do with your training side of things. So we're working 3 days out. So 3 days out, no hard training at all. So that last day on that 3 days out should be a relatively easy session. You should finish your last solid session before that 3 days out. Then we move to the 2 days out. I want you to have a full rest day that day or some sort of light mobility just to keep the body moving around and feeling good. Then on 1 day out, so the day before your actual test, that's when we want to prime up the body. So we do this with an easy run. So an easy run is something like, depending on your fitness level, but something like a 15 to 20 minute run for guys that can run pretty well at a really easy pace. So it should be fully conversational, no more than zone 2 effort. And you should finish it feeling really good. So not creating any sort of more fatigue or anything like that. Once you finish that easy short run, then we want to go into what's called strides. And we want to do probably 3 to 4 of them. So what strides are, is they're fast runs. They don't create any more fatigue. They're just there to prime the body up. So what you want to do after your easy run is throw in 3 to 4 20-second efforts, 20-second strides. And those efforts at around about 90% effort, but it's like a relaxed, fast pace. So it's not a full-on sprint where you're tensed up and you're running as fast as you can. You're running fast, but you're also relaxed. That'll help you stay really sharp leading into the test day the next day. So follow it up. So that 1 day out, you got 30-minute run, well, 15 to 20-minute run, all depending on where your fitness is. You can even go up to a 30-minute run if you're a really good runner. Then you got the strides, the 3 to 4 20-second strides after it. And then just go through 2 to 3 sets of priming up your push-ups. So these sets are to be relatively easy, and they're there just to get some movement in, get you primed up for the next day. You could throw in maybe some plyometrics or some clap push-ups or something to really prime the nervous system. But the whole point is just to get it ready, but not create any sort of fatigue or soreness leading into the next day. So keep them nice and low volume and relatively easy. So keep it light. This isn't about building fitness. It's about priming the body to be ready on the test day the next day. All right, so that's your plan for the training side of things. Hydration. So you want to arrive hydrated. It's super important. You don't want to be trying to catch up the night before thinking, shit, these last couple of days, I haven't been drinking enough water. And then you're trying to catch it up all of that the night before. Doesn't work that way. You want to work at least 3 days out and have full focus in on all of this stuff, including your hydration. So with the hydration, your plan is aim for 30 to 40 mils per kilogram of body weight each day. All right. So as an example, if you're a 70 kilo guy, you want to be aiming for around about 2.1 to 2.8 liters of water every single day and spread it out throughout the entire day. Don't just drink it all in one hit so that your body's got a better opportunity to absorb the water. You want to spread it out across the day. So set yourself alarms if need be, carry a water bottle, whatever it is. Right? Aim for that 30, 40 mil across the day, of 30, 40 mil per kilogram of body weight across the day for at least 3 days leading up to your actual test day. And some of your cups of water, you want to be adding some electrolytes. So some sort of form of pinch of salt, some Himalayan salt, something like that. Just add a pinch of it to a couple of cups once or twice a day, and it'll just help you retain the water a lot better and replace electrolytes from the training that you've had leading up to this point. So on the day, you want to make sure you keep up your water intake as well. Obviously, don't scull down a whole heap before the test or anything like that, Just small drinks as soon as you wake up and continue it on until you're actually there ready for test day, ready for the test. Okay, moving on to nutrition. So that's the plan for your hydration. Now we're on to nutrition. The goal of your nutrition is refueling, not restricting. So you want full energy stores. Okay, so with that being said, your plan is to eat at a maintenance or even slightly above. Don't be in a deficit leading up to your test day, at least those 3 days leading up to it. We're refueling. Being in a deficit means you're restricting energy. You don't want that leading up to your test day. Okay. Eat carbs high in the final 2 to 3 days. So a good recommendation is between 4 to 6 grams per kilogram of body weight, and eating that consistently across those 2 to 3 days leading up to your test. This helps you top up your glycogen store. And glycogen, sugar, is what you primarily use when you are going for a PFA. So whether it be the beep test, whether it be your push-ups, whether it be anything at a high effort, uses sugar as its primary energy source. So we want to top that up, make sure our muscles are full of it so that it doesn't impact your performance in any way. You want to maintain your protein at around about 2 times your goal body weight. So if you are pretty overweight, you don't have to be aiming for that for your body weight right now. So just your goal body weight, about 2 times, and that's in grams of protein. So if you're a 70 kilo guy or your goal is 70 kilos, you want to be aiming for at least 140 grams of protein each day. And that's just to make sure you got all those building blocks there to repair all the tissue from your previous training and being ready on the day. All right, big one is to prioritize whole foods, simple meals, things that are easy to digest. Now, on the day, you want to eat a small, light meal around about 2 to 3 hours beforehand, if you've got the opportunity. Something like oats and fruit, or maybe some toast and honey, something along those lines. Okay, nice and carby, obviously, and good whole foods. Now, 30 to 60 minutes prior to your actual test, you want to eat some simple carbs. So something sugary, something like a banana, some rice cakes, or even a sports drink, just to give you that quick hit, and you've got that energy there ready to use as soon as your test starts. So that's 30 to 60 minutes out. Okay, and throughout this entire, those 3 days prep, you want to avoid any sort of new foods or anything, well, especially on the day, you want to be avoiding like heavy foods, fatty foods, things like that. But leading up to your test, those 3 days, don't add any sort of new foods or try anything new out. That should have been done prior, because you don't want to be going into test day with a crook gut. Okay, now moving on to sleep. So that was our nutrition. Now, sleep side of things. So sleep is the biggest performance enhancer and recovery tool that you can have. All right, the plan for your sleep is to aim for 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep in the last 3 nights leading up. Don't focus on the night before, focus on the last 3 nights. That's what we're going for with this plan. That way, if the night before is restless, which is going to happen because you're going to be nervous leading into your PFA the next day, you're probably going to have a shitty quality sleep the night before. But if you've slept well the 3 nights before and the second last night before, then that last night, if you do have a bit of a shitty sleep, then it doesn't really impact you that much. You're still covered with those other nights leading up to it, where you've had good quality and good amount of sleep there. So just try to wind down early, reduce your screen time, and keep your routine super consistent over those 3 days, and you'll get better sleep and get that time in there. Right. So a bit of a final wrap up. The main thing to remember is that the hard work is already done. Your training is done leading up to those last 3 days. You're not going to gain any more fitness. These last few days are about increasing your readiness, not creating more fatigue. All right. So just a quick recap. You got your training. You want to reduce your load, but stay sharp with your hydration. You want to be consistent every day with getting your water intake in. Your nutrition, you want to fuel up. You don't want to cut it down and be in a deficit. And your sleep, you want to be banking it up early so that night before doesn't have too much of an impact on your performance the next day. All right, guys, put all of that to play. Go in confident, follow your prep, and back the work you've already done. Good luck.